everybody, and welcome to pre-chat while I wait for the game to become playable. That's in 6 minutes right now. England is on fire. I am extremely hot. And I have been extremely hot for the last about 2 to 3 days. And what makes it worse is that running Infinity Nikki heats up my room. But at the very least, it's 4 AM right now, so if I'm gonna heat up my room, at the very least I'm doing it at the coldest possible time. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that having the image of a water fairy in my game might at the very least help me with the perception of hot. That's kinda what I'm hoping for. Now, this video includes gambling, obviously. So this is a poll video. Please gamble responsibly. I have 300 polls and I have a dream of Final Evolution. I was planning on spending for the monthly and the battle pass this time around anyway, so I'm gonna get some rewards from the top-up rewards for spending £15, plus I'm gonna get the 680 diamonds that you tend to get for the battle pass up front as well, and because when you pull you get a bit of refunds, I reckon we have about like a 20 pull wiggle room-ish about there, where I could like press it and maybe like get a couple of extra pulls. Past that point, I would need to break the bank, and I did not make a decision on that yet, so it is very possible that if she doesn't come home, then she doesn't come home, and that's that. But at the same time, I do want to disclose that I got a bit of a lucky streak, and about maybe 1/3 of my total poll count doesn't come from me. It comes from the fact that I'm a YouTuber and an influencer and part of the Infold's content creator program, so most people shouldn't even have 300 polls at this point if they were pulling the way that I was pulling. So just the fact that I'm arriving here with those polls, that's quite lucky in itself. And if you're a normal person, for goodness sakes, please be responsible with money, with savings, with outgoings and all of that good shit, because you need that for rent and food and drink, and so do I. But what I'm trying to say is that I do get some amount of free pulls, so it's not quite as bank-breaking for me as it would be for a normal person, and I think that that should be taken into consideration. I'm kinda excited for this whole outfit. I wanna see what this whole water overlayer actually is and how does it perform in the open world, because that's just one of the more interesting things that I've seen in Fold pull, a dress made out of water. I completely support materials that are not materials for dresses, and I think that we should go for cotton candy, for clouds, for animals, for fireworks, for light shows, for anything and everything imaginable. I like the kind of texture that's not texture. I like creative things, and I do think that this is very creative. So this has been a very long intro. I'm gonna shut up now. When you're gonna see me again, we're gonna be taking a look at how they broke down the banner itself, because what's that watery thing? Is it attached to the dress or not? I need to know. I mean, there's also a jellyfish on your head, which is quite imaginative, and the hair's made out of... This is a very weird banner, y'all. Anyway, see you in game. Gosh darn it, the layer of water is actually directly attached to the dress. Well, it's unfortunate in the fact that this item becomes a bit more versatile, because I can't just apply the water layer to everything else, which I kind of wanted to do. But it still has a lot of very interesting pieces. I do wonder how some of these just like look on their own, especially when it comes to water sock, water shoe, water arm, and of course hollow wings. because, of course, with what you're gonna go with, if not hollow, when you're making a water fairy. Then we also have the Polly Pocket-esque 4-star, which texture really intrigues me. Like, I wanna eat that. I wanna bite it. And it's... That's the dress! Okay. So they separated the socks off the shoes and off the dress, and the dress itself has a short. Yeah, that is a very, very unique 4-star indeed. Okay, so what we're gonna have to do, what I wanna do and what I'm doing is I'm gonna be pulling on her until we have the base version. And then I'm gonna put on the full base version and we're gonna go through dye channels that exist and don't. Mainly because anything that has like a overlayer of effect, my fear is that the overlayer of effect is entirely undyeable. So I wanna confirm those things before we go further. So pulling till then we're reviewing the base version, then we're continuing pulling. So let's actually proceed with that. Insert a 10. Get a hat? Watch me be like completely on track for maximum pity. That does happen to me. Insert a 10. Get a hat again. Very consistent, I would say. And gloves. So will the second one be gloves? That's not quite max pity. That is 18th pull, which is very, very expected and probably on the go for hitting maybe base in 180 or about there. Well, not quite glove, but I did get sock. And then I got sock again. It's very, very straight this time. Ooh, that's not max. That's not even soft pity. That's 16th pull. So we're quite lucky there. I'm getting good at counting. I love knowing that soft pity kicks in at the 18th pull. Because then I can know exactly how lucky or unlucky I am depending on which pull this lands on. Though technically I think it was 18th pull plus 18th pull. Yeah, actually. Because if 19th, 20th, so 18th. And now if I was to pull again, the 20th would land here, so... Yeah, I'm moving backwards at actually about expected rate, so never mind. Not the 16th pull. I'm just bad with math because my brain is fried. And insert another 10. Continue inserting into the magical slot machine. And get the very chewable outfit back. Chewy. I actually wanna style her at some point. I think those shoes were kind of unlucky, actually. I think they landed at the exact same spot as previous. Though it is nice that now I'm getting surging flow thingy back. Hey, it's the dress. That's my 5th one, so I triggered the Ocean's Blessing. And with surging ebb, for 20 of those, I get a pullback. Which is why they're importante. I think I'm not heading for complete max pity, but I am heading close to it, I would say. Ooh, double 4-star. Thank you for an extra 4 surging ebb. I will need those. The 5-star pulls are now all the way on position 1, which, yep, means that it's gonna start coming back earlier than normal. Jesus. Math is not my strong suit. That's still too early, I think? No. No, actually it's not. Because if this is the... If this was the 20th position, then I had like the extra 9, so yeah, it carries over after a while. Don't do math, kids. Not when it's hot, anyway. Math when it's hot is wrong. I really wish that they gave you more Surging Ebb after you maxed out the second outfit. After you got the full evolution. I think that would be nice. But that's just me being greedy on wanting some pulls, I think. Who has been counting? Oh, okay, this one actually came early. Yeah, it's the first item that's early. Good job, item. Well done. How close do you think I am to the first Evo right now? Because I haven't been counting. I think very. Hey! First outfit complete! And I lost count. Where did this landed? Where did this land? Let us check. Deep 180! 180! Ah, it's kinda... It's very much on par for me, I'm gonna say. And that's the... Yeah, that's the base makeup. That's the... The eyelash one is the one that's kinda interesting because it's multicolored. She's very cheery. I don't presume that I'm gonna use the makeup all that much, honestly. I do sorta like the lenses, but it's not quite the lenses that I normally wear. And of course, we now have the first evolution as well, which means tiny bit of actual diamonds back for me. So that will be great, because I will need them. I will actually need them. God damn it. Anyway, I'm gonna see you at the preview for the whole thing. Pulling part for the base is done. Pulling part 2 will continue after we look at the base. Okay, this is something that comes with the 4-star from the compendium, and this thing looks absolutely redonkulous. I will wear it. So, good news, this isn't counted as a special effect, this is counted as being part of the dress. So, you can actually dye this over area, and you can dye the full outfit as well. It has an ombre effect happening around here, which happens on some items, that makes it harder to keep them uniform. So that's something to keep in mind. I don't know which evolution unlocks up to this, whether you get it from base or from Evo 1. I'm assuming that white and gray is on Evo 1. Black is on Evo 2. And then the color wheel is on Evo 3. And you can really see that rainbow effect happening with black. So if you want this outfit in black, you kind of have to keep these kind of things in mind. But I am at the very least satisfied that dyeing of this thing, of like the dress layer, is possible, and it's not counted as just a special effect. Let's test the wings next. Oh god. Okay, wings only have one area for dyeing, and this is precisely what you're gonna be dyeing with it. The bit that's glowy, as in the bit that's multicolored, I'm gonna assume that that's an effect. But we won't know until a little bit later. The water hair dyes okay. from the looks of it, it's fairly uniform, from what I can tell. Except if you go white, that's when you notice that she has some rainbow streaks in her hair. I suppose you notice it on base as well, but if you went like dark green, then they kind of go away. But if you go white, then they're there. And if you go black, they're there, but in red. So that's quite intriguing. Okay, another thing. I don't think that she kicks through her own dress. This is actually a problem with some items. I think that this might be safe to run around in. And I think that her leg bend while running in this is less generous than normally. At least it feels like it from the back, but it might just be that the back wobbly layer is just kind of far away. Her hair is incredibly effecty, and so is her skirt. Zooming in on her arms is really, really hard. I think arms, for the most part, are not effecty, what I can tell. Yeah, it's mostly the skirt, the hair, and the wings that are the effect pieces. And everything, well, also the hat, obviously, but everything else feels very stationary and not very movie. So there is that. I do like this. These wobbles are bringing pleasant feelings all around. So what I do need to do now, though, is sort out my battle pass, collect all the diamonds and all the pulls that I can. Very sour about housing still. And then we're gonna go back and finish pulling. False alarm. I found the old store. It only required me to actually select a furnishing set. God damn it. Anyway, got mad for no reason. Time to collect the extra diamonds. Okay, I'm a master at inventing pulls. AKA, I just clone up this outfit. I collected the monthly, I collected the battle pass, I collected top-up rewards, I collected the housing diamonds that are still there and free. I found them. So, we're up to 150! If I combine 180 and 150, that's 330, with the possibility of stretching it just a tiny wee more. With the wee more being A, the refund pulls that I get for getting double items on this banner, and B, my 551 diamonds, and C, my 785 stories. So, wee bit more. Anyway, back to gambling. And nothing, just like, you know, expected. Totally expected. I forget where these are supposed to be, so I'm just assuming that they're in the correct position. I'm just now going in fully okay, that's very close together. I feel like that was a lot closer together than it should have been. Though, maybe not. That is very... Nope, wait, that's definitely too close together. That's getting lucky, so... Fingers crossed! Fingers crossed that we continue going like this. If I, by some miracle, get pulls left over, they're gonna go into Water's Echo second evolution, because I don't have the second evolution, and it's something that I wanted, but I wanted the banner more. So, the banner it is. However, speaking a bit too fast right now, we're not there yet. 70 pulls left, 5 out of 10 pieces secured. So, I need to get lucky by about 30. If that doesn't happen, then we can just edge it, but just a smidge, but just like a little bit. But that's still quite the amount of luck that I'm demanding of this thing right now. 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10, 30 pulls remaining. Okay. I was gonna say that no way are we doing an item per 10 pull, but... No way are we doing an item per 10 pull! What the fuck? Game? What is this? Where was it? It was at the second position, wasn't it? So that's 8. Okay. I now need to find my pull history and do math. Which I hate doing. History! There we go. Which one was my last one? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I'm 3 pulls off! We can do this, actually. 18! On soft pity. What will that be in total? 331! Let's fucking go! I somehow managed to get it into the budget. Arrgh! I was slightly wrong on the amount of pulls that I can get just from getting the monthly, the battle pass, the top up, then the housing, the glow up, the regular diamond refunds that you get for pulling, and I also came in with about 1,000 diamonds, so that, actually I was probably around correct. Okay, so we have 2 evos left to do. I did it. I did it. We did it. 331. I accept that. I completely accept that as actual, like, luck. It's just, it's so on point. It's so stupidly on point. I love that. Like, it's about the maximum that I had. There was a bit of, there was a bit more fudging that I could have done. But still, to expect the second set to come in 150, that's really relying on luck. And we did it. Let's get that thing, whatever that thing is. It's a decoration. That is like by far the coolest wings. I had no wings before this point, pretty much. And I really, really wanted some wings. Now I have some wings. Still can't believe that I got lucky today. Don't gamble, kids. You can't rely on luck. Luck, like, happens pretty much never. But anyway. Now we have the fun bit of trying to see how well the wings die when you have the final evolution. So here's something interesting. The wings don't even have like an alternative version. It's just that the final ones that you get are bigger. I guess I don't really mind or care that much whether it's on a separate item or on a final evolution. The dress does change with the switchy of the style thingy. Now, though, my question is, if I go into the wings, when I find them, and I press the dye button, it's like this. But if I do the special effect, it still does not dye perfectly. So, something to keep in mind if you're gonna be doing this set. It does help, because this is undyed wings. And undyed wings, as you can see, do look pretty freaking stupid. Because what I dyed was like a little bit. It almost looks like you haven't did the dyeing at all. Dyeing the special effect helps a little bit, but you're still left with 2,000,000 rainbows in this setup. What about if I take the small ones? Do the small ones dye any better now? Oh yeah, the small ones, if you have the final evolution, dye pretty perfectly. They don't have the extra lighty bits that the big wings seem to have. There's still some of it. You can still see some strands that you just can't dye. But it's a lot better than if you don't have the final evolution at all. Let's do actual dress now. The dress just still dyes as fine as she did the first time around. I think that the special effect is the fish. It is. That's what you dye here with the special effect. So absolutely no complaints on the dyeing of the dress. Some complaints. About 50% complaints on the dyeing of the wings. The hell does the special effect even dye in here? I think the ends of your hair, maybe? I don't actually know. Take note. The effect of your hair is so special that I can't figure out what it is. Is it the strands here? At the front? Not from the looks of it. You still can't really dye the strands at the front. Frig knows. I have no idea what this bit dyes. I can't see it. So, that's the dyeing of the hair covered. I think we should go and try the special abilities. Let me move myself around a little bit. The teleportation nodes, you place them with G. And then you warp with T, starting from the last teleportation node that you placed. Very laggy for my game, but this seems solid. So you can use it as a jumping platform. Okay, cool, it sticks. So you can actually, if we were in Itzaland, I can use this as an extra platform and then fly from it. Right, we should try that. We should actually place ourselves in Itzaland. I can see this being useful as a mobility ability. Okay, let me show you what I mean. So, I can build this. I can then even do a hop for extra height. And fall off my own platform. Never mind. Back up again. And then I can just zoom from wherever I jumped to. A lot of people said that it's completely useless and pointless, but no, actually, I see uses for it. A lot of people do map breaking. They were actually using floral rebirth for extra height, because the bug catching animation actually propels you higher, so you jump. Then you use the bug catching outfit, then at the end of the animation you kind of jump again. And that's what people were doing. This gives you like solid 4 meters of height, practically like a full jump's worth, that you can then propel yourself off of. So no, I find a lot of use in this. Considering that the teleportation ability is limited to where you were, and only exactly 30 meters. Like, I couldn't jump to it from here, but I can jump to it from here. And it's closed in any unexplored dungeons, just like I think this is also closed in any unexplored dungeons. Teleportation ability is pretty wank, but I can figure out what to do with this column of water. So, no, I ain't mad. I ain't mad about that at all. What we have left to look at is the placeable, which will be somewhere around here. Somewhere over the rainbow. I have some decorations that I never use. Woo! Placeable 1 and placeable 2. So that's a placeable. It looks as bizarre as I thought it would. Congrats, you can stare at whatever this is. Cool. Do I have poses? No, I don't. I hang in the air over here. The other placeable is the exact same thing. But in a slightly different color. I think. Maybe. Did I put the same one twice? No, they are different. They just don't look that different. So those are the placeables. Though, I feel like if you place down 2 at once, you have created your own backdrop. Congrats to you. Because this place is now completely unrecognizable from what it was before. And it's time to do some outfit poses. I have 4 of those, starting with... Let me just move myself over here. Float with bubbles. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a super fan of floaty poses. I'm not. Especially ones that float out of your camera range. Honey, where are you going? Thank you. I much like it when Nikki just kind of stands still, and on top of that, I think that the censorship is sort of kicking in. She is slightly see-through, at least for me. Let me just pause it. Maybe she's... Yeah, the censor... The censor that doesn't allow you to look up Nikki's skirt is kind of aggressive with these poses, so it's... Having your Nikki exist while using these poses might be a bit of a difficult job. As you can see, if I wanted to take a picture from the side with her, she is just that. Yeah, I'm just gonna allow you to play. I think we're gonna have the exact same censorship issue. She does seem a bit more solid with this one, though. To be fair, that is another good question. Do you have a modesty panel? I don't know why you would need it on a dress like this, but not really from what I can tell. You never know with Infold. Infold's weird these days. Yeah, all of these poses are gonna be incredibly hard to use. And I probably won't ever use them. Mostly. Ah! God damn it, sound. That's awful. Mostly because Nikki is trying to censor herself out of existence for most of the angles for these poses. Because she's floating up, and honestly, she has underwear on, so I don't even understand why we're doing Nikki censorship. There is one more thing that I want to pay attention to. And I might actually want to place you in anything but this, so that you stand still. Which is the full makeup, the full non-evolved makeup, and the full evolved makeup. And we're gonna try it on different skin tones. Actually, I'm gonna switch off your hair as well. Just so that we have a better look of your face. I think that's about as good of a look as we're gonna get, honestly. So, this is the not evolved makeup. Let's just quickly take a look. Oh, it looks at different skin tones. Honestly, it looks even better at deeper skin tones, mostly because she's auroraing all over the place. Is that on cheek makeup? Yeah, it is. So, if you want auroras to be coming out of your eyes, that is on the cheek makeup. On her whitest skin tone, it's kinda a lot harder to see. So, let's now just do the evolved makeup, which looks like the same thing, but with golden sheen, which Infold is quite fond of. These kind of colorations, they will always kind of honestly will look better on darker skin tones. I'm not entirely sure about the lipstick. I think the lipstick on this one is just... ugh, but her eyebrows definitely pop a lot more, and so does her face makeup with a darker skin tone. I think this skin tone, the Twilight Reflection skin tone, would be kind of the perfect range for this makeup. While I like my Nikki incredibly white. Honestly, if I could make my Nikki look supernatural, that would also be part of what I would do. And the kind of golden sheen that a lot of these makeups give, they just don't work with very, very light. So let's just go by recent and just put myself back into the full outfit.
The wind carries stories.
What do I think about this whole thing? Well, I wanted it for the unique pieces, honestly. I wanted it because of the very unique skirt. Wow, brain. Come on, me. Let's speed it up. Because it kind of looks like she's made out of water, and with the final evolution, it's even more surreal looking. I also wanted it for the wings, and everything else is kind of nice to have, like her head accessory. Actually, does the head accessory change shape? Yeah, it does. Okay, we can... Please, Nikki, go down from your flight. You can also have a tiny jellyfish, if you really wanted to, instead of having like a halo jellyfish. So, what I wanted it for, it does it semi-alright. As in, I'm kind of bummed that the wing dying is as bad as it is. I can see the use for the abilities. Rather, this one in particular. There are just times when you need extra height, man. So, I ain't mad. But, if you're not into specifically the statement pieces that this set has, I'm not entirely sure would it be worth it for you. The ability is, well, extra height is nice, but in general it's fairly much of a nothing burger compared with quality of life upgrades that you can have with some other abilities. The poses are gonna be incredibly hard to use because Nikki goes see-through. Those things, I can't tell them apart, and unless you wanted a crystal star party, I'm not entirely sure what you would use it for. So, on the upside, the dress seems to die pretty well. So, there's that. Overall, for everybody else, maybe a 6 out of 10, I would say. For me, I will use the wings and I will use the dress. It's something that I really wanted to have, and now I have her. And I'll continue to have her, and you can't get her. She is mine. Thank you very much. The wings will probably use for longer than the dress itself. The dress is really interesting. I'm happy that we're not clipping on running, honestly. Because that has been such a problem with outfits recently. But I wish that wings died better. The fact that they die so poorly makes them very non-customizable. So whenever I will want wings, they're kind of gonna be stuck in this coloration, especially if I want the wings to go as large as this. With smaller wings, I can not only color smaller wings fairly well, but I can also just use the colorations that they already come with. This one is it's just that tiny bit harder. And that's the wings that I really wanted, so that's a bit of a shame, but I'm still kind of glad to have her. Jellyfish dress. Yeah. That is still gonna give me a lot of joy. So, thank you for watching. We're gonna take a look at everything for sale tomorrow. Thank you so much for my Patreon supporters. Good luck with your pulls, and toodaloo for now.